What happens when Spider-Man sees the stages of grief within himself? So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the three Peters in Spider-Man No Way Home, and how each of them is at a different stage of grief and help Holland's Spider-Man work his way through it. So what did I feel? Right, when Garfield first arrives, he's like a totally different Spider-Man. He doesn't show any of his pain yet. He comes through the portal and he's acting goofy like he did in The Amazing Spider-Man. And he's almost awkward, but he's still saying to MJ and Ned, "I'm not a threat." He puts his hand up and yeah, he's convincing them that he's okay and he can be trusted. And then Ned tries again and he opens another portal. And then who arrives? It's my Spider-Man, because he was the first. It's Tobey Maguire. And he's straight away, he has an aura about him, a presence about him, a calmness. He's like the Spider-Man that has gone through everything, and he's in the final phase where he has acceptance. And they both talk about the urge, the need to find Holland's Spider-Man and fix him or help him in some way. And it's just a real nice connection mode. It's not a cameo thing. Actually serves a purpose to the story. So then we transition to the rooftop, and Holland's there, and he's sat alone, and MJ and Ned come over, and they put their arms around him, and in that moment, he doesn't have to be Spider-Man anymore, and he breaks. You can see it on his face. He actually just crumbles in that moment. He's not Spider-Man the hero. He's Peter Parker the boy who's just lost his aunt. And he cries his eyes out and he's devastated, and he's being comforted by the two people he loves the most. And it was just heartbreaking. It really was a heartbreaking moment. But even in that moment of him being so vulnerable and so human, as soon as MJ says there's some people here, he stands up and he puts MJ and Ned behind him, and he's gone back into Spider-Man, I must protect them, because he doesn't want anything more. He doesn't want to lose anymore. He's already lost his Aunt May. So it's like the switch was thrown. But then when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Garfield's Spider-Man come down, they try to talk to him, and he's like, don't tell me it's okay. I don't want to hear it. Because he's at the point where he just doesn't care. And he means that. I just don't think he wants any more pain. He's had so much pain and he's just hurting, and he just doesn't want to hurt anymore. So he's like, I just don't care. I'm sending the villains back. I'm sending you back. I don't care. And then both the Spider-Men take a moment and they tell him, that they've been through it. Tobey speaks with his calm, like I said earlier, like he's been through it. He's come out the other side. Garfield opens up about losing Gwen, and it's quite heartfelt. He's crying, and you could feel his pain. It was such an emotionally driven scene, both Holland and then Garfield. And I think when he was looking at him, they had a connection, like he could feel the pain because he was in that pain at the moment. Garfield's pain was in the past, but he still hadn't got over it. And then Holland's Spider-Man was like, I want revenge, I want to kill them. And then Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was like, look, I've been there, I've done that, and it didn't make anything better. And I think that was the thing. They were there, and they needed to be there to comfort Holland's Spider-Man, because he needed them. He had his friends, but I think he also needed to see them. Garfield, the one who had the pain and was still struggling with guilt and acceptance of it. And then Tobey Maguire's one, who was past it. He'd been through the angry. He'd been through the process of blaming himself, and he'd got older and wiser and come out the other end. And I think it was important for Holland to see that, even though he's still raw. And then when he finally says, my Aunt May, even through it all, she said to me, with great power. And then it cuts to Tobey and he says, comes great responsibility. And what this shows here is the Spider-Men and Peter Parker are linked across universes. They have to experience great loss for them to become the hero the world needs them to be. Holland's Peter lost his Aunt May. Garfield, he lost Gwen. And Tobey Maguire's one lost his Uncle Ben. But without those losses, they could never become the hero they needed to be. So that was the key to all of it. Because if they hadn't had that loss, they wouldn't be the true hero. So it seems to me that it's written across the stars that this event is intertwined in all Peter Parkers across the galaxies that become Spider-Man, because it needs to happen.